Today we're talking about the top 3 lies that people are telling in the music industry, and it's coming up next. Lennon here with soundandpatternsmusic.com, giving practical music industry knowledge to the artist that wants to be heard. This community believes that there is no better time to be an artist than right now. There is so much opportunity if you're willing to actually put the work in, and that's why I'm here, is to help you work smarter on your music and your music business. Guys, let's just dig right into these lies. Number 1, people are telling you all the time that the music industry is oversaturated. I want to go ahead and say that I completely disagree. I'm drawing a line in the sand and saying, BS, this is not the case at all. Now, is it hard to get heard? Absolutely. You gotta work. You gotta be out there putting in the time and effort to make it happen. You gotta connect with somebody nowadays, right? But when it comes to oversaturation, I just think it's complete baloney. The problem is most people just aren't willing to put in the time and effort that it takes to get discovered. What people want now is a portfolio of your work. This is what anybody wants, from a business to a label to a fan. If they want, they can go find artists that are showing and proving that they're showing up for their fans, right? They can go and see that stuff by their social media accounts, by their website, by their discography. You can start to look at all their press releases, all the stuff that they've put together, and see that they're the real deal. So the issue actually happens when you're just not putting that stuff together the way that you should. And so then it feels like it's oversaturated because you're putting in effort, but you're putting the effort into the wrong things. Yes. There are tons and tons of people releasing music and content and whatever every single day. But the amount of people that are consuming on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is far beyond the amount of musicians that are actually putting stuff into the world. Do we need to be creative in the way we approach this? Absolutely. Do we need to be creative on how we monetize this? For sure. But there is no issue with oversaturation, and I'll stand behind it 100%. And this is gonna give me an opportunity to rebuttal some of you naysayers and go into lie number 2, which is anybody can make a living in this industry using the online tools that are at their disposal. The hard truth is not everybody can make a living doing this, and I'm gonna go ahead and argue that very few of you can, and the reason is because it's actually a lot of work. It's not to negate your talent, it's not to take away from what sort of inherent ability you have, it's just that you're not willing to put in the legwork on the business side of it, because the business side is hard, it can be confusing, you're not willing to invest into people in the studio, engineers, mastering engineers, producers, whoever it might be that could escalate and elevate your music to the next level. You're not willing to have a mentor or somebody around you that could potentially give you an idea that takes you to the next place. You're just not willing to invest the time, especially the money for a lot of you, into these things. Many of you will spend $30,000, $60,000, $90,000 on an education at a college, but wouldn't spend $200 on an online course that could get you way further in 3 hours than 2 semesters of college. The tools are there, but you're not all gonna be able to use them to make the living that you're trying to make. And that's okay. A lot of you may not even want to make a living. You just wanna get your art out there. You just wanna be heard. And again, that's why this channel exists. But for those of you that want to actually start to make an income, you gotta put in the legwork. And this leads me into lie number 3, which is a great song will naturally find its audience. I don't believe this one bit. I've seen tons of people put out amazing work, amazing music that very few people actually ever hear. I think you got to put more time and effort into your music and putting the stuff out there than you ever have, mostly because the industry side of it that may actually be oversaturated is the ones that's trying to get into the labels' eyesight. They're trying to get over there and get those labels or the big time money spenders to see their stuff. The truth is, you could play the game on your own at a really high level and get people to hear your stuff. You're just choosing to kind of put the cart before the horse, and instead of worrying about getting potential fans to hear your stuff, you're trying to get the eyes of these big execs, right? People on the label side spend a ton of money to get music in front of people. Will we see songs blow up online? Will we see stuff go viral? Absolutely, no question about it. But for every one song that goes viral, I would guarantee that there are 1,000 potentially released that week that are incredible songs, that are great songs that no one will ever hear, just because the right effort is not being put into it. It's not going to get put in the right place at the right time. That's why I don't believe in luck, is because I believe you have to create your own progress. You do that by taking a step at a time, over and over and over until you actually reach your destination. You don't just step up to a zone and then leap and hope that you find the place you're supposed to hit. You have to go for it a step at a time. Listen, it can get really confusing to try and put your stuff together in a way that is discoverable for potential fans. You may have no clue where to start, and this is actually something that I do, which is one-on-one calls, and the link is in the description below. This isn't for everybody. It does cost a little money, but what we do is we spend an hour going over the stuff that you want to go over. You send me questions, I look through those, I look through all your accounts, get all that stuff together, come back with some answers, and we spend an hour going through the things that you want to go through and customizing your next couple of steps of action to make sure that you're putting effort in the right place. If that's something you're interested in, just check out that link below. And otherwise, I appreciate you being here, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video.